what's up, YouTubers? We're out here just to get it, and just adding to the personal wealth. So today I was looking at this doctor lady that's using she's doing whole health. She specializes in cancer. And I learned about these different testings and stuff like that and everything, and these different supplements and stuff like that. And I heard something it made a lot of sense, where somebody was talking about when the women go through the change of life, right? And how there's certain things they're more susceptible to after the fact. And I was looking at and they were talking about, well, the toxicities. You got your pesticides and herbicides and the heavy metals, glycosulfates and all kinds of stuff. And when you take a shower, you're getting a lot of fluoride. You're taking a chemical bath. You know what I mean? So the importance of a filter on your shower and stuff like that and everything. Well, these women have the issue of their monthly cycle and everything. And then when that stops, they start having a different set of problems, and that is closer to what a man goes through. And they were saying that's something you can do to help humanity and also help your health, and oddly enough detoxify, is to go give blood once a month. Just go give a pint of blood. Like, I don't know where to do that. I guess call the Red Cross or something like that. But if you got on a schedule where once a month you donated blood, then your body would get on a schedule of creating new blood, and then anything that's in the blood, if you got some slightly high levels of this, that, and the other, doesn't really matter if you just wrecked the motorcycle. We're like, get the fluid in. You know what I'm saying? So like, if it's the right blood type, the health levels, well, is what it is. But I'm definitely going to be healthier by giving it, and then I'm giving blood, so I'm going to feel good about that and everything. As long as, like, the needles and stuff are clean. I shouldn't have any trouble with, like, I think receiving blood that's bad might mess with you. But I don't think you can give it away and have too much complication. So, real low risk factors as far as that goes. And if I'm eating right and I'm getting my, I got my ketones on point that day, and, I take a little extra minerals and stuff or whatever for like 3 days, or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm just like super juiced up, healthy dude, never had any vaccines, like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I go in there and I donate my blood and I'm healthy. So, like, my levels of toxicity and all this kind of stuff is going to be a lot lower than the average person. And then my blood is going to a person in need. So that whole process, now I'm building more blood or whatever like that. And I was kind of in my head, I'm thinking like a strategy for training and stuff like that. So I get my body used to making more blood. Sounds healthy, just like, cut out the sugar and get used to burning fat. So now I'm dual fuel. Well, now I'm creating blood as well, right? So then, like, high nutrition, high levels of hydration and all this kind of stuff. And then I'm just like, I'm working out twice a day. I go down here and I give blood. Now this person that's going through whatever sickness, they get my blood. They're just like ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Give them the blood of Jesus. Talk to them or whatever like that. And they'll actually be like, here's some blood, here. Go shoot this up. Or whatever. I don't know. That's probably going too far now. Anyway, so I was watching that and I was like, what a cool extra way to be a helpful kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll give you the shirt off his back. Hey, he'll give you the blood out of his veins. I mean, top that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're standing in front of Jesus and you're like, he gave 322 gallons of blood. Well, at a pint of time, have 4, so you're doing 3 gallons a year, and you did that for 10 years. That'd be 30 gallons of blood. You did it for 30 years. That'd be 90 gallons of blood. How many people would live if you gave away 90 gallons of blood? So if I gave 90 gallons of blood, I'm 40 to 70 once a month, and then I just stop doing that at 70. Like, my body is going to be like the blood master. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to generate. I'm going to be like the hemo goblin or whatever. I'll be good. I did change my name to hemostatic or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the hemo. Yeah. Anyway, probably some more jokes in there, I guess. Anyway, I was thinking how the English say bloody all the time. What's your bloody problem? Well, I have a bloody problem. I get blood. Anyway, in the media's quest to keep you scared about stuff, remember that Jesus is the Son of God. He died for you. Okay? So if you die right now because of a trade deficit, you're going to heaven. Okay? But even right now, like, God's really in control. And part of this holistic thing is realizing that God's in control so you can be peaceful and not have the disease markers and the age markers that come from being stressed out. See what I'm saying? So that's incredibly helpful. The hydration is incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful. Like, just quit drinking everything else. For real. And then if you need that boost of energy to get you through, 2 days of coffee, 2 days of green tea. And by switching it up, there are 2 different types of caffeine. You know what I mean? If you need that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not for drug use. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind people that use crutches. You know what I mean? So like if I go to church, I see sinners. Great. That's where they need to be, right? So I need to have some bedside manner at the church house, okay? In the same way I would need it if I was the intake nurse at the ER, right? Nobody goes to the ER and be like, what are you doing here with your broke leg, walking on crutches, blah, blah. That would be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So when I see the sinner in the midst of their sin or whatever else like that, have a little bedside manner on this deal, provide a little fellowship, give them some blood. You know what I mean? Give them some heart and soul of gospel. That's the power of love or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just get it done. And, man, serving God to the utmost by giving blood. And then, you can't outgive God. So then, like, your body's creating more blood, man. That is a real thing. And then, like, get your nutrition right. Get your genetic testing, right? So you get your, check your vitamins and minerals. See if you're deficient. And then, like, supplement them things. And then, like, don't just do what you think is right. Like, actually talk with somebody, because some stuff builds up and other stuff kind of trickles out every day, right? So there's 91 of them, of the, vitamins, minerals, or whatever, and it can be very confusing. And there's some lady, Quantix, or Qantas or something. It's spelled like keto, but it's with a Q. It was a doctor lady, came up with a full spectrum of everything you need by the little dropper thing. Super easy. You know what I mean? To just like fix dinner for the family, make their plate, put a drip on each one, and you know that your family got their vitamin and mineral needs for the day. They just hit it with that once a day. You know what I'm saying? No brainer. Stuff's like $60 to $90. a salt lick, a mineral block to your flock. You know what I mean? Your tribe, your peoples, whatever, right? And then do a check, see if they're deficient after that, and make sure that they can make the stuff that they need to make. Like the food is crude oil, okay, and then your guts is like a refinery, right? And then like your muscles and all that kind of stuff like that, it's like a truck. And then some trucks are diesel fuel, some trucks are gasoline, some trucks are natural gas, right? So you got to make sure that your refinery's making diesel for the diesel truck, making gas for the gas truck, and all that and everything, right? So that's your genetics. Like that, your genetics is how you were designed, how you were set up to process food. You might not be processing all the things necessary due to your genetics. So like, that's the thing. Okay, so check it out. What type of thing are you? You know what I mean? And then if I'm a diesel truck and my refinery makes diesel fuel out of this crude protein we call biscuit or steak, eggs, butter, right? And then there's stuff like the you might need a little change your fuel filter. You know what I mean? You might need to change oil every now and then. You know what I mean? You might need to put a little octane booster in, a little anti-gel, whatever. That's your herbs and spices. And it turns out, like your filter and stuff like that, like go ahead and you deworm your dogs, right? So go ahead and like deworm your kids. You know what I mean? Like find out whatever's appropriate. Go talk to your doctor or whatever else like that. You know what I mean? A nice holistic doctor. And like, give them some freaking, ivermectin or whatever to get rid of the parasites and stuff. You know what I mean? And then like, make sure they have enough vitamin D3. Like you got your D3, K2, 5,000 international units of D3 type of deal. Real good for you. And then like in India, twice a year they worm the whole population. Like dewormer in the country of India twice a year. I just found this out just like recently, like within the hour. Twice a year they deworm the entire population so that they don't have worms. And then they eat that real spicy food and everything like that. And then turmeric, like I put turmeric, which is a fat soluble, right? So if you're drinking turmeric tea and boiling it in water and everything just to get it in you, it's probably going through you. Put that stuff on a steak, it will become solid. It'll dilute the fat of the steak. Will make it solvent, and then the juice off of that will actually go into you. You know what I mean? And your body can process it, so it doesn't go all the way through and just out. It's actually in there doing what it's supposed to do. Sleep great. Oh man, it helps you sleep so much. And they say it helps with pain too, but I don't know how to reference that because I don't know what the deal is. Like I either don't feel what these other people are feeling, or I feel it and it doesn't bother me as much. I guess I don't know. Like I hear people say like they'll drive. They'll be like, oh, I sat in the chair for 6 hours and my back hurts or whatever. And I'm like, I carried freaking shingles up a ladder for 6 hours. Or whatever. One time we did a commercial roof and those rolls are 110 pounds on the torch down. And to load this roof, you could not get a truck in there. So we ended up having to drop the pallets in front of the store and we had to gain access at the back. So you had to walk all the way around. It's a commercial building, so that wall's tall, probably 16 foot to the edge, you know what I mean? Tie off the ladder and all that kind of stuff. So you had to carry the roll up on top, and then we had to stage it. And I was a laborer at the time, and we staged those rolls, and it took about 6 hours. We went out there probably 5 o'clock in the morning, and we carried rolls up the ladder. Just walk around the building with it on your shoulder, go up the ladder, step from the ladder to the roof, and then walk to wherever was appropriate, line it out on the roof. So that was steady walking for 6 hours, carrying 110 pounds, plus climb a 16-foot ladder. I don't know how many square it was. I mean, there was 4 of us doing it, and we carried, it took 6 hours to load the roof. You know what I mean? So, after experiencing that, and of course, this whole thing about when the sun's coming up and getting that good sun on you, and your body produces the D3, and like all your hormones are created by the cholesterol. So your cholesterol shows up to fix stuff. So as that sun's hitting you, you're kind of getting a sunburn type of deal. The cholesterol shows up and does its thing, and the byproduct of that is vitamin D3, which is actually called a hormone. So you think, look at these people that are crazy and everything, and it's like, menopausal. Oh, she's menopausal. Her hormones are out of whack. You've heard all these phrases like that, right? And then you see these things like parents freaking out and stuff like that, right? So, like, you just check out in the sun, quit putting that stupid lotion on yourself, right? Like, don't put the lotion on the skin. Just go do your thing. And then, like, get out of the sun before you burn. Like, your body will tell you if you've had too much, because you will burn. A little bit at a time, and then like go into early morning, you know what I mean? And then there's stuff with this red light therapies and stuff like that. The benefits of the sauna, like the benefits of sweating, man. Like, okay, if you got toxins in your body, you got your pee, you got your poo, but you also got your sweat and you got your breath. So if you're out there working out till you're sweating and you're breathing real heavy and you're hawking up a lung and you're spitting it out, I call that casting out a demon. I've literally made a video about that, and I'll do this HIIT training and stuff like that, and HIT, high intensity training, and I've been doing it for like probably about 9 months before I even seen a video that said something about what that was. You know what I mean? I just figured, sprinting would help me get my breath, because I sit here all the time in the truck. I never had this trouble until I started driving the truck, right? So that change of lifestyle from handyman and roofing and all that to sitting in the truck. And then the closest thing to sitting in the truck was sitting in the jail. Well, in the jail, we do these crazy workouts because it's like, you want to be tough. So like if you've got this crazy workout where you're doing, 400 or 500 push-ups a day, every day, 7 days a week, well, the people around you is like, I probably should not fight this guy. Well, the only fight you're ever going to win is the one you don't get in, right? So, and we call that the program. It's funny enough, you know what I mean? The toughest guy in there is the guy that's got the toughest program, right? So, like, we'll compare notes or whatever like that and be like, who's working out hard enough or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm working out harder than him, so it might be this, might be that, or whatever. And then we'll do crazy stuff like play hacky sack. You know what I mean? Do you know how many times I have stretched out to my limits and kicked a hacky sack and then hop around to kick it again and then look up and everybody look at me like, what the hell did you just do? Like one time my uncle was coming out of the courthouse and he was having some heart issues or whatever, or maybe not heart, but it's definitely medical issues that day. And he had some jackasses in his house, and we had to go get papers to get them out, blah, blah. Well, we're walking out, and I hold the door open, and there's this lady or whatever like that, and the other door was closing, and I spun around there and held that door with my foot real quick, right there by just slightly above the handle. And, the doors were trying to close or whatever, so it was already swinging back, and I just spun around there and held that door open with my foot. And that lady, she looked at me, kind of smiled. I said, come on, I got you. But she walked on through there, whatever else like that. And at the time, I didn't think nothing about it. I was just like, how am I going to hold the door and knock him down and then don't let this door hit this lady? There's a gap, a door and then another door. So hold this one, use my foot, grab this one, and we're walking out to the truck or whatever else like that. And he said, well, it's a good thing he didn't kick him. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you look like Jackie Chan in there or something. He's like, where the hell did that come from? I was like, oh. I said, that's just for playing hacky sack. So, in the back here, something I don't know how I've made it this long without telling y'all, but I kicked the hacky sack. Like, one of my workouts is kicking the hacky sack up against the side of the trailer. The trailer's 13'6". Chances of me getting it caught up on the top of there, I mean, it's possible, but probably ain't gonna happen. But you kick it up against the side of the trailer and it falls back down, so you can play hacky sack with yourself. And then because, you know, there's a pretty good sized gap under the trailer, so you're not really going to kick the trailer like break an ankle or anything, right? So that works out real good. So hacky sack, semi-trailer, excellent trucker workout. Anyway, so being up, being mobile, being hydrated, putting these good things in your head, learning these different skills and stuff like that or whatever. Well, when I was a kid, I was always fascinated with biology anyway. That was like one of my things. And math. I was like math. I was like a calculator, you know what I mean? And I think that was because, well, I grew up in Oklahoma, you know what I mean? We sold wheat, you know what I mean? So like I knew fractions and stuff. I remember when they started teaching the fractions, and I just already knew what they was. And the teacher says, well, how do you know that? And I was like, the wrenches. When I had the wrenches to Dad. So like the different sizes, you got like 3/8, ½ inch, you know, all the way up to 1 inch. So I was like, you know, because you can't rat yourself out. So at an early age, that was the other thing. I grew up around the Indians, so they're like, don't trust the government. Like, don't sign shit. They're going to trick you into a treaty, and they're going to steal your land anyway, right? So like, everybody else is looking around at what's going on with like property taxes and all this kind of stuff, and then like when it didn't cost no money to borrow, like 0% interest to the bank or whatever like that, you get mortgages for like, you know, 1.3% and everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to get everybody a mortgage, and then they're going to jack up the price of everything and then steal everybody's house. I told the mortgage people that when I was getting my mortgage, as a matter of fact. And I talked to the mortgage people yesterday because I had another opportunity to buy a house, $80,000 cash or $100,000 under finance, pay $1,000 a month, right? So I'm like, should I just buy this or not? So I totally should buy it. It's an excellent location. I want to buy it. However, does it make sense? You know? So I look at this deal and I call them up or everything like that or whatever, and the way I structured my purchase, because I pulled $42,000 out under the Texas law, I can't pull any more out of that. And then under the Oklahoma law, the other stuff's the way it's tied up, it wouldn't be in my name, and those are not equitable. The equity's there, but the personal income is not. You know what I mean? Because they're already maxed out on income, right? So kind of held up both ways. And the lady at the mortgage company literally told me when I told her, you know, what the options was, and she says I never say this to anybody, but you should take the owner financing. And I was like, well, I know I need title insurance and all this other kind of stuff, but is there anything else I'm missing? You know what I mean? And yeah, so if you're gonna do owner finance, go get your title insurance on the property, where they'll do the title search and all that kind of stuff. When you do your contract for deed, try to put your name on the title somehow, or a direct, like lock the title in the contract where they can't go get a second mortgage on it. You end up paying it off, and then, oh, this property's got all this extra whatever. So there's a way to title lock it where they can't borrow more money. You know what I mean? And if the owner that's financing it is cool with the title insurance and cool with your name attached via contract to the title, and the contract is contract for deed, and you run that all through your the lawyer, the local lawyer that will be able to protect you, right? So you get that all squared away based off just the address of the property, right? And if the person selling it to you, owner finance, is cool with that, hey, you're good to go. You're golden. You know what I'm saying? And then actually write out your amortization schedule if there's any type of interest. Try to nail them down on this much is the payment, this many payments, in the story. You know what I mean? And you can run through an amortization calculator and be like, okay, so you want X amount of interest, just like the bank for being the bank, right? They'll be like, yeah. Then you run that through that calculator deal, and you say, are you okay with this number? Yeah. You divide that by the number of months in the term. It's this much, this much, this much. 90 days of missed payments equals eviction, and then do a with the clause that you can get caught up. So if I missed February of next year, but in May of next year I make 2 payments, I'm back to 0, right? So that 90-day wiggle in there is real good. And the way you sell that to your owner financing person, like to the seller, if you're the buyer, the way you push that concept to them is, you know, if you rent this house out, you have to fix the air conditioner. If I buy it from you, it's on me to fix the air conditioner and have a term that you'll carry, and I'm carrying insurance on the house. Right? So I'm going to have title insurance, I'm going to have homeowners insurance. If you're in Oklahoma, you got to have that Indians Want Their Land Back insurance. I forget what that's called. Right? That's some kind of extra deal. And all of that will vary. But you're looking at $400 or $500, you know what I'm saying? And then on a $100,000 house, in this case, I would be looking at a $1,000 payment to this old boy, you know what I'm saying, through the owner finance system. So that puts me right around $1,400. But 100,000 is 100 payments, right? So if you divide, well, even at 12 years, it'd be 144 payments, right? If we took this insurance money out of the 1,000, you know what I mean? And then another way you can do that if you're the seller is you just go to the bank and you tell them what's up. You set up a secondary account, so they pay the money into the account every month, and you prorate the taxes and blah blah blah, and all that for your escrow and stuff like that. And you actually carry all that stuff as the owner yourself and protect yourself, right? So if this guy gets behind for 90 days, that's 90 days of going into this account. But I've been over here paying it the whole time, right? So that's how you stop any of that BS. That's how being the bank and you get the bank money, right? And once you get like 8 of these houses like this, most people don't get a mortgage because they don't qualify. For whatever reason they're not qualifying is probably why they're not going to pay you either, right? So somewhere in the course of this 12 years, you know, most people move every 7 years. So you're either helping a family that can't get into a house and own their own home, or you're going to sell this same house 5 or 6 times over the next 35 years. Or just sell the whole thing. Like, it's better than rent because they're fixing, like, a renter gets drunk, knocks a hole in the wall. The owner sees somebody about to knock a hole in the wall, says, hey, what are you doing? And if they do mess it up, they fix it. So, and for the seller of the home, excellent choice. Owner finance. For the owner, excellent choice. For the buyer, owner finance. See what I'm saying? But you just got to understand how that works. But we don't have to get bank of rip me off. You know, we don't need Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe Financial Service to, you know, this dude wanted $46,000 up front, and the grand total was going to be $180,000. I said, you're having a hard time selling property, ain't you? I said, he said, well, no, there's a lot of first-time home buyers. I was like, yeah, they'd have to be first time. Do a deal like that. But anyway, that's what's going on today. All right, we're just again, dude. Rock Hill. Read that Bible. Everything I just said, all that stuff, literally come from studying the Bible. Every bit of everything I just said, I would not know had I not read the Bible. That is a fact. That is a skill set that is always number one. I wake up and number one is Bible. I put that first above, you know what I mean? And I get my carcass right so I can think, so I can talk and all this kind of stuff. And then I share with you guys. The more I pour into you guys about, health and finance, and get right, do right, be of a great encouragement, the more encouraged I am, the healthier I am, and everything else. I can't outgive God. He gives it to me, I'm giving it to y'all. And y'all go out there and give it to somebody else, you'll do better than I'm doing. And I mean, on the one hand, I can't lose. On the other hand, I'm just I'm snotting those kids out here living in the parking lot. So I don't know if I have 7 properties or I'm homeless. But I'm definitely going to go out here and spread the gospel. And at the end of the day, that's your best investment. Like, I totally could have bought into a copper mine, literally, day before yesterday, and yesterday, 3-bedroom house with 5 acres for, $80,000 or $100,000 the other way. And he's like, oh, if you want to fix it up, I'll loan you the money to fix it up too. We'll just add it to the loan. I forgot that part. Yeah. So, and the house is worth about. If my wife preferences the remodel, which he was already remodeling, there's only two rooms left to remodel. 1 bathroom and 1 bedroom still need to remodel. It's got a new roof on it. They just put in new cedar cabinets. I mean, who puts in cedar cabinets? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he's fixing it up for his granddaughter or else like that. Then they had to go back to work. They couldn't do that work from home no more. So they got to go back to the office so they can't. The commute don't make no sense. So they're moving into Tulsa. Anyway. Oh man. The opportunities are real and they're out there. And this is no joke. I can quit what I'm doing right now and just go, literally walk through the door of that place. By the time it quits raining in the spring, sell the place for $250. Easy. You know what I mean? But where it's at, it's walking distance to the post office, walking distance to the community center, walk literally across the road to Bob's Mini Mart. That's where everybody sits there, drinks coffee and stuff. I can wake up, not even start my pickup, walk across the street, sit there and drink coffee until somebody comes through the door saying they needed help doing something. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll help you build that fence. Go do whatever, fence, roof, whatever, put a nail in something to whatever degree. And then just get a chicken or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And whatever, you know what I'm saying? And just barter style. Okay, the end of the world comes, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, if you don't take this spark, you can't buy nothing from Walmart. And I'm like, well, I got this garden behind this house that's paid off, and I can walk across the street to get coffee. They know that if they give me coffee, if somebody tries to kick their ass, I'll kick their ass. So there's like this whole security detail aspect. And then it's right up the hill from the creek. And then honestly, I kid you not, the number one that crossed my mind when I heard of the spot, I thought, ambush site. You know what I'm saying? So there's a highway right there. Because here's the stuff, and then over here's where you can eat and stuff. So there's my access and stuff. So if I was an old man or whatever like that, I could still find enough work to keep me busy. You know what I mean? And then if I had money and I'm old, I could just do community service and just sit over there, and when I hear somebody needs help and they're not an asshole, I just go help them for free type of deal. Let's see, what is this? I need 59 north. South New Orleans. Anyway, so I thought, well, I know the people at the creek and everything, so we could go down the hill to the creek, which is walkable. have the post-up spot, and then like as the supply, if the Chinese were trying to resupply, they would probably commandeer something right there, and yeah, it would be real easy when they go in there to get their cup of coffee. You know, off with their head and take their supplies. You know what I mean? In a totally fictional. You know, if the gray aliens show up, that's probably where they would get coffee. Anyway, you could subdue them with the Indian braves. It's the land of the free and the home of the brave. Okay, now people are brave, but the soldiers, the Indian soldiers, are called braves, and there's a lot of them there. I call them. You know how everybody's worried about the cartels and stuff? This is really funny. I used to run All Tribes Roofing, right? Church was running or whatever else like that. But I worked there and rose to the top, whatever. But the joke was, it's the Great Northern Mexican. Indians are the Great Northern Mexicans. So like you think about an Aztec or whatever like that, and the things they accomplished or whatever else like that. Well, the ones from Georgia are 6 foot tall. Man, out there in Kenwood, some of them old boys out there in Kenwood are 7 foot tall, for real. Like, not even kidding. Some of them big old fat boys, and built bigger than me, and 7 foot tall. You know, I'm 5'10". You know what I mean? I'm just a little fat boy. But at least the joke is having a small forklift. I went on the job site to get a job one time. The guy said, well, what can you do? I said, well, I'm a small forklift. He was like, really? Yeah, look, go there, pick that stuff up, and carry it over there. It's a skill. Anyway, I didn't get back to it until I get back healthy. So, yeah, anyways. So that has a lot of potential, you know, if the struggle goes completely bad. And in the meantime, if I was to just obtain the place, have Potter oversee the remodel of it. I think it's just the bathroom, and go in with a handicap, you know what I mean? Where you can just ride a wheelchair all the way down the hall, they make it into every room, and the bathroom is a shower where you can just ride in there in your wheelchair, take a shower, sit there, ride right back out. You know what I'm saying? Dry yourself off your chair, the whole 9 yards, whatever. No steps to get in and out of a bathtub. You know what I mean? And the whole floor done with that Schluter, and then the drain in the shower is the lowest point in the whole entire room, and at least 1 foot of tile up the wall. Now, any water spill, if you do that, all of that, and then you put your sink cabinet on top of that, even if the sink leaks, overflows, whatever, any kind of flood now just goes straight down the drain. And I think that's going to be standard in all the homes I build, that the kitchen and the bathroom floor will all be set up with a drain. And when you mop your floor and everything else like that, when you're done, you can just squeegee the water off into the drain. Like you just dump your mop, do everything really there, then just dump your mop bucket out right there, right beside, in between the kitchen sink and the island, just right there, because there's a drain in the floor, just like the drain in the shower. It would seem kind of weird because people don't do it like that, but that's the Skipper innovation. That's for man. I got more ideas. I'm telling you right now, we'll change the world. We'll change the whole world. You know, Donald Trump up there, he's pencil whipping and stuff like that, doing his thing, but I'm gonna do my thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, all you custom home builders out there, there you go. Add a shower drain to the tile floor in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. If I could sweep my whole living room floor and all that, and it's hardwood, transitions into tile, and I'm sweeping everything like that, and I scoop all that up, throw it in the trash can, I start in here by the kitchen, I'm just mopping it and getting it and just going all through it. I get all the way to the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And then like, boom, there's the drain. Okay, that's great for mopping. But what if I'm washing the dishes? And the dishwasher's right here. You know what I'm saying? And right over here is the island. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm chopping it out, doing whatever. I have a spill in the kitchen. Imagine that. Imagine the kitchen floor got wet. You know what I mean? What if the pipe's frozen busted? And then there's, like, if you got a laundry room, also drain in the floor. You got a drain coming from your washing machine. You know what I'm saying? Just pre-plan a drain in the floor in the wash room. Tile the whole floor, Schluter, whole 9 yards. See what I'm saying? Now you're good to go. You know what I mean? Something happens, pipes break or whatever like that. Oh, it's all contained. You know what I mean? No more, you know, icicles coming down the stairway type of deal. You know what I'm saying? You're gone. You're out of town. House thaws out. Pipes are broke. Where's it going to fall? Okay. Can't you get it? You do all that in the planning stages and then the framing, so that it all goes. You know what I mean? All right. Rock here, boys.